Hi, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here. Happy Valentine's Day. So today being Valentine's Day, it is a day of love. Love for yourself. First of all, yourself. Love for your family, for your partner, for your friends, for your pets, for your coworkers, your neighbors. It is a day of love. So if you need to treat yourself, just go out and buy a fat quarter bundle that you have always wanted. Today is the day that you buy it. You can buy yourself flowers or whatever, but you know, get that thing you really want, honey. Get it. Get it. Okay, so here I'm terrible at marketing. I should have been showing you this so that you could have ordered it to wear it today, but you know, I didn't remember it until this morning when I went to put it on. And I also have like the ornament which has been hanging on my mushroom tree. So, and this comes in t-shirts and sweatshirts too, but yeah, we had this last year for Valentine's Day when I did wear it earlier. So someday I'm going to make a t-shirt quilt. I'm going to put a bunch of these in it. I think that would be really fun. Okay, so a few other things. The Make-A-Wish charity project will start very soon. Okay, I forgot my jewelry. I had to go put it on. So Make-A-Wish is called Moonbeams. I will be doing mine with my drawing room, and I'm super excited. I do believe we start next month in March, but you want to get ready, get downloaded your pattern, get the supply list. Well, the patterns don't come out, the supply list. There's going to be a cross-stitch raffle February 19th to the 25th with the Fat Quarter Shop, and you also just want to watch what's going on. Make-A-Wish supports doing wishes for very ill children, and that is a regional organization. So the Make-A-Wishes are regional offices, and the Fat Quarter Shop is based in Austin, Texas. So they work with the Make-A-Wish that is in the Austin area. So it is, and then Moda Fabrics also contributes money, and Kimberly and Kevin Jolly also contribute money of their own to the Make-A-Wish. So this is their major fundraiser for the year, and I think that it is so cool and such a great thing to help these kids have this awesome wish. So I do want to show you that our friend Nadine received her quilt, the Beach Quilt, and I'm just really tickled. Nadine does beautiful work, and she is delighted to have mine to add to her own, you know, collection. She and I have a love of the same kind of fabric, so it was just so cool her name was picked. And she's enjoying it, and you can see it's winter in Maine where she lives. So there you go. My beachy quilt is out in the snow. And here is your Ambassador Yvonne, and she received her quilt that has all my little baskets that are basically seasonal, have all this sort of hand embroidery on them that I did, and the funky border. And so she is looking around, she said, in her home to see where she can display it, which I think is just so touching. Thank you, Yvonne. Mwah, mwah. Thank you to all the ambassadors who help out here. They are volunteer. They are friends who help answer questions and greet you and point you in the right direction to get my information here at YouTube chat, only the chat, and the YouTube, and at my Facebook group. So they are the ones who help me out, since we have a very large group at Facebook at over 410,000 quilters, and you ask a lot of questions. and everybody helps, and they're there to jump in. And also, if you are interested in the Harrisonburg exhibit, we are doing the fundraiser we did for the Virginia Quilt Museum, Wendy Shepard and I. The museum exhibit is going to open for a call for entries in March on Quilt Day, whatever that day is in March. I don't know if I wrote it down. Saturday, March 16th is when we officially can enter your quilt to be reviewed. And there's a whole bunch of criteria that will be there for the different categories, because we can only take a small number of physical quilts that can hang in the museum, and they will be there for 3 months at the end of the year. But you have to have a finished quilt, and there's different sizes, and you will they will be, you know, looked at by a jury of Wendy, myself, the curator at the museum, and probably somebody else, and look to see in each category to get a really good selection to display. Plus my quilt, Wendy's quilt, and the original quilt will be hanging for this exhibit. And so I just want to give you a heads up, because if you have it there where maybe you need to get your binding on or just finish it up, you still have a little bit of time. The open call for entries will be for a couple of weeks. So this is a heads up that that's coming. There was a small change on the March block, and it had to do with the numbers down here for the darker number 2 fabric. There should be cutting 1 square, which you can see in the diagram, and instead I said 2 squares, which was actually making more squares than you needed. So it was just a typo. And I fixed it within like 2 hours of when you might have been checking. There is a timestamp under the download, so if you have not downloaded it yet, you can just download. If you downloaded it like right after my video aired at 7:30 in the morning, then you might want to go and just see, or just then mark on your copy. I mean, probably most people aren't going to notice that, but anyway, it needed fixed. So I have a couple questions I want to answer before we do what's in your closet. Plus, I need to, before I answer the question, I have to sew. I got the horizontal rows done, and I have all the corners on the blocks like I showed you yesterday. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and sew the sections together there before I do what's in your closet, because I have yet to put all the what's in your closet blocks up on the wall, because there's always been something else there, and when you only have 1 or 2 blocks, but we'll have several blocks now. So I want to get this sewn, which I'll just sew on a break here from filming the video, and then so I'll get it done. I'll get it off the wall. But I had a couple questions I wanted to answer. When I was cutting my wide back fabric, quite a few of you wanted to know if I ripped my fabric. You just take it and make a snip, and you just rip it on grain. And I personally never rip fabric. I mean, I have used fabric since I was 15 years old, making clothing, and I don't like to rip fabric. I don't like the way it looks afterwards. I don't like the feel of ripping fabric. I don't like the sound of ripping fabric. I do not like anything about ripping fabric. So I never rip. I just cut. I cut my fabric. So that'll answer that. Several people wanted to know why I didn't hang my red zinger quilt with all my red and white quilts. That's because the white of the red zinger is not white. It is the red, unit. Here, let me just put a picture up. The red is red, but all of the selvages are lots of colors, and so it does not read red and white to me. And that's why I didn't put it up. I love it, but it is not, to me, a red and white quilt to go. I wanted that pristine kind of feel of white to be what I put up right now. A couple other questions. Donna asked, who made the ballerina pink fabric? And so the link is in the description box below, and I had it in the description box, I think, yesterday. And it's also at the fruitcake page where I used it for that pattern. Bookie asked, why isn't my scrappy binding bias? Well, I rarely do bias binding, and if I'm going to do a scrappy, I'm not going to treat it any different than anything else. Only if I have a quilt that's going to be heavily washed do I do bias, because bias is going to give you shorter pieces of thread along the edge of your binding, so that if one of them wears and breaks, it doesn't make a long strip across the top of your quilt where the binding then just falls off like this. Instead, your bias makes the threads go this way, so if one of them is cut, it just sort of frays in little spots. And so that's why people use bias, and I generally do single. I don't do double anyways. Double is more durable. Okay. Marina wanted to know, how do you choose a longarmer? Because I've been using longarmers. I actually have been using longarmers probably from almost since I started quilting. I went to the back of a magazine with my friend. We went to probably Quilter's newsletter or McCall's or something, and people put those tiny little ads because was no internet yet, and we just sent our quilt to a lady in Texas who quilted it, and we had no knowledge of her, and we just did it. We just were not really too concerned. We thought, well, if it messes up, we'll just make another one. So now this person said she didn't want to ask in her guild. Well, your guild is the best place to ask. If you have a guild, go to your guild and see whose work is being shown. People do show and tell. They'll show a quilt and say, you know, Betty did this one, you know, Alice did my quilt, and then you can see the workmanship. You can ask to see their quilt up close. Don't tell them you're inspecting the quilting, you know, just say you want to look at their quilt up close, you know, be a little discreet, and then you can sort of see what type of work people are doing. Long arm quilters have a style, a lot of them. So if you want something more custom, you want to find somebody that is their expertise. Don't go to somebody who just does edge to edge and ask them to do custom, and they never do custom. And the same could be opposite. Somebody who does lots of custom work may not do edge to edge. It just isn't their thing. That doesn't interest them. Just like any other kind of artwork or any other kind of business, people specialize. They also have a style. I worked with one longarmer for a while. She had a really particular style, and she tended to use it often in the quilts, so I kind of almost could look at the quilt and know that was the one she did. One lady quilted very much like I think, Shelley Pagnelli. So like if I have an applique quilt, Shelley will quilt it very much like what my vision of my head is, because she and I just have a really similar style for that. And so that's what you learn, and you have to just do it. You know, maybe have some charity quilts long arm that you didn't put a lot of work in, or something like for kids that you didn't put a ton of work into the quilt. Go have those quilted so that you're not taking your quilt that you spent 3 years doing and it's your very first quilt at the long armor. I do not recommend that, because you will never be satisfied because you spent so many years. You have no relationship yet with the person. You need to build up a relationship with somebody. It's like your person that cuts your hair, right? The very first time, yeah, you might love it, but you might not. But it might be just okay, and you want to work with them, and then eventually you love what they do. You know, so it's the exact same kind of process. So anyways, I hope those helped. I'll try to put in some comments answer some questions every so often. If you have them, leave them here at YouTube, because that's primarily where I'm going to grab questions from, is here at the YouTube in the comments section. Okay, we are going to do what's in your closet, the next block. I am going to sew that first, though, before I start recording it, but you won't see that. I'll show it to you after. Before I show you the block, just a reminder that the theme, what's in your closet, and then each week's block name is not literal. It isn't like you have to go and find a scarf in your closet. People are like, I don't wear scarves. Well, that has nothing to do with this. It's just something to have fun and to give us something to talk about and to build memories and bring back memories. It really has nothing to do with your clothing closet and literally picking fabrics to go with it. If you want to, fine, but it's just a sampler, and you pick fabrics and use fabrics you love and just enjoy the theme each week. Okay, so we are on block number 4, and it is tops. We all wear tops. We all wear them, all kinds. Sewing, I did sew tops off and on through all the years. And I tell you in the thing here, but I have to tell you the funny story in person as well. It's like one time I was making them in high school. I made a lot of things in high school, and as my mom said, a lot of them weren't very good, but I had to learn. I would make them and wear them, and I might only wear them once, including the one where I put the sleeve in the wrong side. And then I wore it anyways. So it tells you a little bit about my sewing skills in high school with clothing. I just wanted to make stuff, and I had so much fun. So one of my favorite things, though, nowadays are the tops with sayings and fun things for the holidays, like all of my merch tops, like this one. Okay, the pattern also has the squeaky thing. Okay, so we also have the page for those of you who don't read, which just gives you the sizes. And then I did a side-by-side with sashing, but they're rotated. Like these 4 blocks all like go in, like the points are these butterfly things are like towards each other. So I would think like if you were doing this, it could be cool to do the sashing of this plus for the 4 blocks to be a different color than sashing between 4 block units. I think that would be really fun. Okay, so what fabric do I want for this guy? I'm doing the background, but I want to bring blue. I want to bring the lighter blue. I have not used any of the lighter blue yet, and so I could do just 2 light blues. I also haven't used a lot of the tan. Really haven't used any tan yet. So I was thinking, well, I could do a tan, like I'm calling this a butterfly unit. This right here, like a little butterfly unit. I could make that in the tan, or I could make the bigger unit in the tan and then make like the little butterfly in blue, which I kind of like this concept. The thing is, I did this as all squares. Have square triangles and a square, so there will be seams in here, which may not look so good with this particular fabric. So maybe I will do that with this one and then do the smaller butterflies in the brown. Yeah, I think I'll go that way. Okay. Now, if you want to, I write things very simple and specific, but if you wanted to make this whole unit in a different manner, go for it. So you might want to go watch Kendall Taylor, our ambassador's YouTube, and see how he approached it. But I write it a very specific way, with trying to have as little waste as possible, so that sometimes there's more seams. Okay, I am going to cut this up. I really wanted to see how this one looked, and it's great. I was hoping that it would just kind of blend. These seams will blend. It's not sewn yet, but I'm happy with that because I kind of wanted to use that one there. So I'm going to sew it up. There the block is, and I love how it looks. I'm glad I brought the brown in. So here it is up close. So that looks super good. And the tile, kind of work of it just sort of blends together. So it wasn't, I was a little like, wonder how that's going to look. So I thought, well, the only way I know is to make it. If I don't like it, I'll make another one. So there's all mine together. And what we're going to do now is go see a little quilt parade of your blocks from last week. This one, and a lot of you have yours grouped. First, the good news is my software for doing the quilt parades is working, although it is very old and it could crap out and be permanently dead at any moment. But for now, it's working, and we're going to kick off this quilt parade of the What's in Your Closet scarf block from our ambassador Kendall. He went and did a cute quilt. Oh my goodness. It's slightly different than the layout I gave you, but that's the beauty of this. You can twist and turn them and do however you like. And you need to stay tuned because he's not the only one that did a quilt from this block. No. There are more of you. Okay, here's Sharon's. Oh my gosh, I love this dress fabric here in the corner. Looks like an ad from an old newspaper kind of thing. And the text print, so gorgeous. Beverly's blocks all together, they are fantastic. I love them, and she's using all different colors. So for those of you who are wondering about using multiple colors for your blocks, here you go. You can see one done. Kathleen, drum roll, she did the bonus pattern with the blocks. Okay, now you all are making me jealous. I want to do one. This is so great. Kathy has her gorgeous warm and cozy fabric. She says she has a lot of these smaller pieces of fabrics in these colorways, so she said hers is going to look very vintagey. Christina, so pretty, her plaid. Now you will note that she used that plaid in all 3 blocks, so I think we can stay tuned, and she might be doing that for a lot more blocks. It'll be fun to see how it comes together. Cynthia shared her scarf with us on this photo. She said she was a school librarian and that the little kids just adored this scarf with the handprints on it. I love it. Elaine, soft, beautiful blocks. Look at this. And she did scrappy on block number 2 there. So if you're wondering if the light would look scrappy, there you go. And drum roll. Here we go from Krista. She did the bonus quilt. Oh my goodness, it is amazing. I totally love it. How fun, how fun, how fun. Here's Karen's block. We have a couple Karens. So this is Karen B. I love the ginghams, the 2 different ginghams in there, the peach and the black. So pretty. And here's Karen, another Karen B. So that didn't work calling it a B. But she's got the checkerboard in black and white. My heart just stopped. That is awesome. Oh my goodness. Cannot wait to see how that develops. Katrina, she has gnomes and mushrooms. Look at the gnome fabric in the middle, and she repeated it in each block. And then she's got the mushroom fabrics in a couple of colors. I love it. Also multiple fabrics in the sashings for the block 2. Here is Kim's pretty block. You can see the other block over there on the left. But looks so great. And she just has 2 fabrics. So that is an awesome thing to see. Love that green. Another Kim L. And her blocks are beautiful. I love that black pin dot. It is going to be so good. Okay, another drum roll. Linda, she did the bonus quilt. Look at all of you go. And here she has this gorgeous black and white toile. Oh my goodness, that is just amazing. Love it. Melissa, our ambassador, is rocking in with some word text on the black and a little bit of my drawing room tossed in there for the center square. Sandy's beautiful blocks. She's got this, they look like they may be a lot of them from the same fabric line, reds and pinks and tans. Very classic. Sharon is got her favorite sports scarf. Now I don't know sports, college sports, high school sports. I don't know what this is, Collingwood, but she said this is her favorite scarf and she wears it often, and they had won some kind of competition recently. So go Collingwood. Here is Val's beautiful block in aquas and navies. Look at the chevron in the middle, the chevron on the big block, and then she has some gray and peach for this week's block or last week's block. And we have Valerie's in beautiful rose floral. Look at that with the pink. Just gorgeous. And she's doing 2. Valerie, this is Valerie's number 1, Valerie's number 2 in aquas and greens. Aqua and greens are really, really nice together. I have to do that someday. And then here is my red and white from when I did the solstice. And I've got a polka dot, and I've got a red best seafood in the corner. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Make more blocks for this week. Make your block number 4 for your tops. Can't wait to see them. Your blocks are so fantastic. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. So I have a couple things in the mail. This is from our friend Lillian in Ohio. And she sent me, she saw this this catalog from a museum exhibit, which is on, it's got quilts, it's got a lot of quilts in it, but she said this looked like me. Like I was there at the museum looking at the quilts. But it's an exhibit, and you can go out at this museum, the Canton Museum, and just see, maybe you want to go look at it. And then she also sent me some darling mushroom earrings. How cute. Thank you, thank you. Mwah. And I had another one from Sheila in Wisconsin. Look at this pretty card. Oh, love the quilt cards. Well, she said she had some fabric that she'd been saving for a long time, and she couldn't think of what to do with it. So she finally made a project. I think she said table runner, and then she sent me the extra. Look at, I love it so much. The glasses, and then this is a quilter's like newspaper. Super cute, super cute. I will treasure them. Thank you so much. Okay, my friend. You are going to make your block about a top. Take a picture of yourself with this, and if your favorite top, wearing your favorite top, or if you have a story like mine where you put the sleeves on the wrong sides and wore it anyway, I would love to hear it. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.